Imagine for a moment that we are standing before one of creation's silent secrets, a tiny mineral, almost invisible to the naked eye, yet pulsing within us like a hidden key to life's balance. This mineral is magnesium. Few realize it, but it acts like an invisible conductor, orchestrating the complex symphony of the human body. It doesn't play the violin, it doesn't blow the flute, it doesn't beat the drum. Yet without its baton, without its presence, every instrument in our biology falters, goes out of tune, plunging the body into chaos. Magnesium conducts over 300 essential biochemical reactions, from energy production in the heart, to muscle relaxation, to mental clarity. There was a man walking through life exhausted, weighed down in both body and soul. Nothing seemed enough. His body ached, his mind wouldn't rest, and his soul carried an invisible heaviness. He sought remedies, distractions, external answers, but nothing brought relief. A wise old man found him and spoke in a calm voice. "You walk without realizing that within you there is a temple, and this temple needs keys to open its doors. One of those keys is magnesium." Curious, the traveler asked, almost in a whisper, "But what can a simple mineral do for my soul?" The sage smiled deeply, as if holding an ancient secret. Magnesium is the bridge between the physical and the subtle. It soothes the muscles, but it also calms the spirit. It helps the heart beat, but it also teaches the mind to be still. It opens paths for blood to flow more freely, but it also allows emotions not to get stuck, like stones in a river. The traveler began to nourish himself with this hidden key, and little by little he noticed the pain softened, his mind cleared, and the night was no longer a burden, but a profound rest. He came to understand it was not just a body moving, but a being vibrating, the spiritual meaning of magnesium. Physiologically, magnesium stabilizes the nervous system, regulates blood pressure, and strengthens bones. But spiritually, it is much more. It is the mineral of harmony, teaching the body the art of balance, not too tense, not too relaxed, but flowing. It is as if every atom of magnesium were a messenger of calm, reminding us that we were made to vibrate in peace. Ancient civilizations already believed that certain minerals carried spiritual frequencies. If we look closely, magnesium is the mineral that reconnects us to the thread of life, to the natural rhythm of the universe. Nikola Tesla said that the energy sustaining the cosmos is subtle, and that humanity has yet to learn how to tune into it. Perhaps if he had explored minerals like magnesium more deeply, he would have realized that they act like tiny antennas, adjusting the body to better receive this cosmic vibration. And here is the invitation. Pay attention to the small signals within you. When the body is nourished and balanced, it awakens doors that the rational mind cannot reach. Magnesium is not just chemistry, it is connection, a bridge, a tuning to the life that pulses invisibly within and around us. Magnesium is more than a simple supplement. It is a quiet reminder of creation's perfection, a whisper of nature saying, "I have already placed within the earth everything you need to stay whole." There was an old scientist, tired of merely measuring formulas and recording results. He decided to look at life through another lens. Every nutrient stopped being just a chemical compound and became a link between body and spirit. When his studies led him to magnesium, something fascinated him deeply. Unlike any other element, magnesium seemed to act as a silent messenger, capable of uniting the electrical energy of the heart with the deep calm of the mind. He called it the bridge mineral, because wherever there was a communication gap between body and soul, magnesium smoothed the noise, creating harmony. Once the scientist received a young man in crisis. His sleep was fragmented, his body exhausted, his mind restless. He had already tried medications and stimulants, but nothing seemed to work. The scientist, without promising miracles, suggested a simple change. Increase his intake of magnesium. The young man doubted, but decided to try. Over time, not only did his sleep return, but he also experienced a sense of mental clarity and lightness. It was as if, little by little, the internal noise gave way to a soft, continuous music. He described it: "I feel as if my body has become my home again, and my soul can finally rest within it." Now I want to ask you, have you ever felt in practice the effects of magnesium on your physical or emotional health? Share your experience. It might illuminate the path for others. Magnesium does more than relax muscles and improve circulation. It opens space in the body for consciousness to flow freely. Where there was tension, there is now movement. Where there was rigidity, there is flow. The scientist wrote in his journal, "If iron is the metal of strength, magnesium is the metal of lightness. It does not build walls, it opens portals. It teaches the body the value of letting go so that the spirit can expand." Magnesium is not just a substance flowing through our veins. It is a messenger between the invisible and the tangible. Imagine a man who, for years, lived exhausted. His body felt heavy, his mind constantly clouded. He searched for answers in medications and quick fixes, but nothing worked until an old doctor with a serene gaze and steady hands told him, "What you lack is not strength, but balance. Your temple needs a forgotten foundation, magnesium." The man did not understand at first. How could something so simple be the key? But as he incorporated the mineral into his routine, he noticed subtle changes. His sleep deepened, his muscles relaxed, and his mind calmed. And then something even more subtle awakened: his intuition. It was as if his body, once full of noise, finally fell silent, allowing the soul to speak clearly. On the physical plane, magnesium works in electrical conduction, heart relaxation, blood flow, and cellular respiration. On the spiritual plane, it acts like a tuner, removing dissonant notes from the mind and allowing consciousness to hear the subtlest whispers of the universe. Perhaps it is no coincidence that Earth, our great mother, contains magnesium in abundance. In its salts, rocks, and waters, it seems to constantly remind us this connection is essential to remain linked both to the body and to the infinite. Without magnesium, humanity forgets harmony. With it, we remember that we are part of a greater symphony. Through the centuries, alchemists realized that magnesium was not just a hidden metal, but an invisible link between body and spirit, calling it the salt of harmony. Where it was lacking, chaos arose: weak muscles, nervous conflicts, insomnia, irritability, a heart out of the natural rhythm of life. But where it was present, everything aligned. The body relaxed, the mind silenced, the soul breathed in peace. In ancient Greece, Hippocrates observed that baths in magnesium-rich waters healed ailments that no other treatment could. It was not just a physical remedy, but an energetic bath capable of cleansing both body and emotions. Centuries later, modern scientists proved that magnesium acts as an electrical conductor of life. Every heartbeat, every brain impulse, every muscle contraction depends on this discreet, almost forgotten mineral. It opens calcium channels, regulates heartbeats, balances blood pressure, and dissolves tensions that the body accumulates like invisible prisons. Magnesium, therefore, is not just a mineral. It is a silent bridge, an invisible conductor, a link between the physical and the spiritual, reminding us that harmony is not merely desirable, it is essential for a full life. But what about the spiritual plane? Here we reach a point that few dare to explore. Some traditions say that magnesium is like a liquid sun within us. It does more than relax the muscles. It opens portals of intuition. Its action on the nervous system creates a stable electrical symphony, allowing the heart and mind to converse without noise, like two candles burning in perfect harmony. Ancient Eastern peoples taught that a peaceful mind could only flourish in a nourished, balanced body. Magnesium, being one of the most abundant minerals in the Earth's crust and oceans, was seen as nature's quiet reminder. The Earth offers balance, if you know how to receive it. Interestingly, when Nikola Tesla spoke about electricity and vibrational fields, some modern scholars suggest that his ideas could metaphorically relate to magnesium, because this mineral is, in essence, a conductor of vital energy, both in the physical body and in the subtle fields that surround us. Seen only as a common mineral on supplement labels, magnesium hides an almost mystical truth. It is the invisible center orchestrating more than 300 chemical reactions in the human body, like a conductor leading the symphony of life. Without it, the heart loses its rhythm, muscles weaken, and even thought seems to lose clarity. But there is something even deeper. Beyond sustaining biology, magnesium holds a spiritual secret. Ancient manuscripts spoke of a liquid stone, an essence that purified the body and ignited the spark of the soul. Today we know that by balancing this mineral, we not only improve blood circulation, but also open the subtle channels of vital energy, what the ancients called prana, chi, or the divine breath. Imagine a river running between mountains. If its bed is blocked, the water cannot flow and life around it withers. So it is with our blood vessels, and even more profoundly with the energy channels that sustain our consciousness. Magnesium is like the rain that cleanses and renews, allowing the river to flow freely once again. There are reports of people who, by correcting magnesium deficiency, not only regained physical vigor, but also experienced vivid dreams, deeper meditations, and an inexplicable sense of inner peace. Coincidence? Or is it that when the body is in harmony, the soul expresses itself more fully? And here is the fascinating point. Magnesium is not just a nutrient. It is a symbol, a reminder that life always seeks balance between strength and softness, matter and spirit, science and mystery. It teaches us that nothing, absolutely nothing, is separate. The physical and spiritual are not two distinct roads, but the same road seen from different angles. The old sage then stopped in front of a centuries-old tree, touched its trunk and said, "Look, my young friend, magnesium is here too. It is the heart of chlorophyll, the molecule that allows plants to drink in sunlight and turn it into food. Without it, there would be no green, no forests, no breath of oxygen that now fills your lungs." The young man opened his eyes, amazed, as if he had discovered a secret that had always been in front of him, yet he had never noticed. "So," he murmured, "magnesium is like an invisible thread connecting the earth, the plants, the animals, and ourselves." The sage smiled serenely. "Exactly. In the human body it calms the heart, guides nerve impulses, relaxes muscles, protects against the chaos of stress and imbalance. In the spirit it opens pathways. It allows a person to become less dense, less trapped by rigidity, more fluid, more harmonious." A shiver ran through the young man's body, as if something inside him had expanded. "And why then do people live so far from this knowledge?" he asked, curious. The sage gazed at the horizon, where the sun was hiding behind the mountains, painting the sky in gold and purple. "Because humanity has forgotten to observe simplicity. They seek answers in machines, complicated formulas, distant temples, but ignore the minerals resting silently beneath their feet, generous and humble. Magnesium is a discreet teacher. It demands no attention, but when it is missing, both body and soul suffer, like a river that has lost its course." A reverent silence hung between them. The wind stirred the leaves, as if nature itself were confirming the words. The young man, in awe, felt different, lighter, more awake, as if he had absorbed something greater than himself. The sage concluded, "Remember, my son, every deficiency in the body is also a deficiency in the spirit. Magnesium teaches us to flow, to conduct energy, to not harden in the face of life's trials. It reminds us that even stone, metal, and earth hide divine secrets. Those who learn to see them never walk blindly again. Imagine, my friend, that at the end of this long journey, magnesium reveals itself not just as a mineral, but as a bridge between the visible and the invisible, between body and soul, between the finite and the infinite. It works on the physical body with almost mathematical precision, strengthening bones, balancing the heart, nourishing muscles, organizing enzymes. Yet, at the same time, it whispers a greater lesson to the spirit. Harmony does not reside in brute strength, but in the silent order that sustains all life. Like an invisible conductor who never steps onto the stage, yet whose baton gives rhythm to the entire orchestra, magnesium is this hidden maestro of the human body. Without it, the sounds turn chaotic, the notes lose their beauty, and the body falls into disharmony. With it, every cell finds its rhythm, every muscle, every impulse, every thought aligns. The symphony of life finally dances in balance. On the spiritual plane, its presence reminds us of something fundamental. Everything essential is invisible to the eyes. Who would have thought that a simple mineral, found in water, seeds, and vegetables, could carry the secret of serenity, mental clarity, and emotional softness? It is not just chemistry, it is consciousness. Understanding magnesium is understanding that life is not sustained only by what shines on the surface, but by what silently structures it within. And here rests a truth that few perceive. Magnesium is not just a nutrient. It is a living symbol of universal balance, a metaphor for the connection between body, mind, and spirit. It shows us that what is subtle can govern what is vast, that the invisible can support the tangible. Just as the entire cosmos is held by invisible forces, gravity, magnetic fields, subtle vibrations, the human being is also sustained by minerals, by energies, by hidden forces that, when understood and respected, elevate us to true fullness. Magnesium teaches us one thing. Caring for the body is, in essence, caring for the soul. At its core, everything comes down to a return to the natural, the simple, and the essential. Humans, lost in excess, addictions and stimuli, have forgotten that the body is a temple and the mind an altar. But those who choose to free themselves discover something powerful. True strength is not found solely in resisting with the mind, but in nourishing the body with what it truly needs. It is no wonder that so many people report real transformations when they adopt a daily magnesium practice. It becomes a silent ally in reconnecting with vital energy, bringing balance, mental clarity, and serenity to face the modern world. Here is an example of a routine integrating magnesium and spiritual practices. Upon waking, a glass of warm water with magnesium or a supplement, accompanied by deep breaths. This activates the body, circulation, and prepares the mind for awakened awareness. Morning meditation. Sit in silence for 10 to 20 minutes, focusing on the breath. Feel every cell nourished by magnesium, relax, and create space for energy to flow. Visualize light moving through each muscle, nerve, and organ. Conscious movement. Practice yoga, stretching, or a slow walk. Magnesium aids muscle flexibility and the body's electrical conduction, allowing subtle energy flow to follow every physical movement. Balanced nutrition. Include magnesium-rich foods, leafy greens, seeds, nuts, and mineral water, reinforcing the physical foundation while nurturing the mind. Night of introspection. Before going to sleep, take deep breaths, practice gratitude, and record small spiritual insights. Magnesium relaxes the nervous system, making restorative sleep easier and promoting vivid dreams, which often bring profound insights and intuition. Practicing this day after day, magnesium becomes more than just a mineral. It transforms into a living bridge between the physical and the spiritual, between body and consciousness, allowing awakening to unfold with safety, harmony, and presence. In the end, the secret is not outside but within, cultivating the mind, nourishing the body, and aligning the soul. Every breath, every gesture, every nutrient is a step toward true inner freedom. And then, life ceases to be merely survival and transforms into a conscious dance, guided by the harmony that Magnesium so quietly provides. If you've made it this far, it's because something deep inside you is calling for more, for a purer truth, a sharper awareness, and a more intimate connection with the unseen force that gives shape to the visible. And now, I want to share with you something that will expand your consciousness even further. Get ready to take the next step. I present to you the Map of the Higher Self, a powerful e-book born from my most intense and authentic experiences. It brings together practices, insights, and mental keys that will guide you on a path of clarity, presence, and inner awakening. But it doesn't stop there. When you get the book, you'll also receive free access to the Sacred Library, an exclusive digital collection of rare, forbidden works removed from our history, hidden texts that reveal what has been concealed from humanity for centuries and is now within your reach. This map is not just a book, it's a tool for transformation. If you've arrived here, it's no accident. This is a sign. You're ready to elevate your perception and take control of your own reality. Click the link in the pinned comment and dive into this journey of self-knowledge with courage, focus, and awareness. And don't stop here. I've handpicked 2 essential videos that will expand even further everything we explored today. Choose one and keep exploring the deeper layers of your being. Remember, the truth is not found in the noise of the world, but in the silent voice of awakening consciousness.